Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. I want you guys to answer a question for me in the comment section below. Let me know if you think 100 ounces of silver is enough. Do you think it is? Now, this seems like an easy question, but it's actually not. Because what's the time frame? When are you planning on selling? I mean, what's your financial situation? How much money is a lot of money for you to be making? I mean, how much do you expect to be making off of silver? Are you even planning on selling your silver? So, I mean, it really does depend. I mean, are you talking about 100 ounces of silver plus gold or other assets? Because if you have 5 ounces of gold, then maybe 100 ounces of silver is enough. Or maybe if you're only able to buy a couple ounces a month, then maybe that will be enough. Or maybe you're not planning on stacking for very long. So it really does depend. But I want this to be more of a universal question for just the average stacker, that someone that just started stacking and maybe they have like a couple ounces right now, maybe even like 20 ounces. Is 100 ounces enough? And when I say enough, I mean to really, get financially stable. I don't think that's a hard thing to answer, because I guess this is actually a deep question, because if you want to take it even a step further, it depends on how high you think the price of silver is going to go. Because if you think that silver is going to go to $1,000 and you have 100 ounces, then do the math. But if you only think silver is going to go to $50 and you have 100 ounces, do the math. So it really does depend on a lot of different things, because that's a question and you're answering out of your own opinion. There is no right or wrong answer. If 100 ounces of silver is enough for you, then it is. If it's not enough for someone else, then it's not. So I like this question because it really does boil down to what you're comfortable with, or where you see the price of silver going. To me, personally, 100 ounces isn't enough. To me, 1,000 ounces would be something I'm comfortable with, right? And it's good to set goals. I remember when I first started stacking, my first goal was 100 ounces. And then I would see people like Silver Slacker who would be doing 100 ounce, way more than that. He would do like 400 ounce silver unboxings, right? Unboxing $10,000+ unboxings, or shadow stack unboxing rolls and rolls of extremely high premium rare coins. And I was like, where do these guys get all this money from? I'm making like minimum wage, where, dishwashing. This was back in like 2016, before I even had a YouTube channel. Actually, I did back then, but I didn't post much. But regardless, I was influenced, and it made me want to. It really made me want to spend every single one of my last dollars on silver, and that is a terrible thing to do. One, because you have to learn how to save money before you start investing into silver, or then you'll end up selling your silver first time your rent's late, or the emergency comes up. So you want to have money in your bank account before you start stacking. You don't want your stack to be your savings. That should be your investment. And two, you have to learn how to budget and balance. These are things that doesn't just go with silver stacking. It goes with life, patience, balance, budgeting. That's all very important stuff to learn, and I think you'll learn it in life before you learn it through silver stacking, or silver stacking will teach you how to learn it in life, but that's from the wrong way, right? A lot of times our stacks are extremely off balance. When I first started stacking, most of my silver was extremely high premium coins, and I had no American Eagles. I was like, those are boring. I want the cool coins, but that's not the right way to do it. Right, my stack was extremely off balance, and later on, then I had to start buying American Eagles to even it back out. And that's just the way I stack, right? If you're a quick flipper, or you're someone who doesn't, you can do whatever you want. There's no wrong way. It's all silver. For me, that's just, I want my stack to be more balanced and more diverse. So if we're looking at 100 ounces, there's a lot of different ways we can go about it. A lot of different ways. And let's say your time frame Okay, so I have another question for you. Another question. When do you plan on selling? When do you plan on selling your silver? Is it next year, 5 years, 10 years, never, 50 years? How you answer that question should also reflect upon how you answered the first question. Can you stack 100 ounces in a year? And if you can, are you planning on selling in a year, or does it depend upon the price of silver? And then we have another question. When do you think, okay, so we have a lot of questions. I have two more questions coming up, but everything I say has a very important, there's a reason, and you can see all these questions are setting up so you guys can reflect upon your own stack and get a better insight on, where you are. Because a lot of times we don't think about this stuff, but if I ask you a question and you answer it, then it makes you reflect upon yourself subconsciously. So what price are you willing to sell at? Is it $50? Is it $100? Is it $500? Is it $1,000? What is it? When the price of silver gets to $100, are you still gonna hold off? Or are you still like, nah, I'm gonna keep holding, or you might even keep buying? What price are you gonna throw in the towel and say, I'm ready? Or are you never gonna throw in the towel? A lot of us, I remember I posted a poll and a lot of people said they're never selling. They're passing it down to their kids and grandkids. Regardless, what is that price for you? Let's say it's $1,000. Right? Let's say you're talking about $1,000. You're not settling for anything less. Okay. I know that's a crazy high number, but let's go off that. Okay. Now the next question is, when do you think silver will hit $1,000? Do you think it'll be next year? Which, just to burst your bubble, it won't. Next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Because if that matches up, if you aren't ready to throw in the towel until silver's $1,000, let's say, see, and this is the hardest, this is why, okay. When the price of silver goes up, everyone gets extremely, extremely happy. But when the price of silver goes down, people worry. If you understand silver's true value, then you won't want the price to go up unless you're trying to sell right then. If the price of silver goes up to $50 tomorrow, but you're not planning on selling for years, and $50 is not a price you're going to throw out the towel, then why would you be happy? You should be mad, because that means you have to pay a higher price for your silver. If you go to the store and see these shoes you want, and they're on sale, there's a huge discount, wouldn't you be happy? And then let's say you didn't buy the shoes, and next week you go to the store and the shoes are extremely expensive. Would that make you happy that you have to pay a higher price? No. And you know why people get happy when the price of silver goes up? That means that they need validation. See, if the price of silver dropped down to $5 tomorrow, I would be buying it all up, and I wouldn't be worried, not even the slightest bit, because I know silver's true value, and no matter how low the price gets, I know it's going to get back up, and I know where it's headed. When silver was $11 in March last year, people were freaking out, but I was happy. I was still making videos telling people don't panic sell. I was still making videos. You can go back to my videos last March when silver was $11. I was telling people, yo, look, buy right now. This is the time to buy. Don't freak out. Don't panic. This is temporary. A lot's happening. There's a global pandemic. The markets are all over the place. Just give it time. Right? New stackers, though, they don't have that experience. They haven't gone through corrections. They haven't gone through dips. And if you started investing during this pandemic, then you got experienced a lot quicker than the normal way. You came into it through, a crazy period, which is, well, it's going to help you in the end. But, regardless, the whole point of this video is for you guys to get insight on your stack, what your goals are, where you're at right now as well. If a lot of times we can't look realistically at where our stack is because we're always comparing it to other people. When I used to have, maybe 30, 40 ounces, and I would look at Silver Slacker unbox, 300 ounces of like Jaeger's poured silver bars or whatever, I was comparing myself to him, and I couldn't see that I still had 30, 40 ounces of silver, which is a heck of a lot more than 99% of the world. So, you really want to stack within your own reality. Don't worry about other people so much. Yes, you can get inspired and stuff, but you'll get there in due time, right? People's situations change all the time. Financial situations change all the time, especially as you keep stacking. You learn more about the dollar. You learn how to separate your wants versus needs. You learn how to manage money better. And in a couple of years, your situation might be and probably will be a lot different than it is right now if it's not where you're satisfied with. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I know there was a lot of questions, but I genuinely want you guys to answer these down below because, answering these helps you, and maybe your answers will help someone else in the comments as well. You got to remember that. You're not just answering a question for me. You're talking to a whole bunch of other people in the comment section of my videos as well, which is just as, if not more important, because maybe there's a very new stacker in here that needed to hear your comment, and you helped them. Right, so anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, 3, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. I launched a clothing line for silver stackers, AG47 Apparel, slayersmerch.com, links in the description. I'm also currently doing a 45,000 subscriber giveaway. Entry video is still open, so you don't want to miss that. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.